I reference Crawford in the Evelyn Lhhatl situation in the video. If you want to go and check out more commentary on Crawford, make sure you hit the link in the description box in the comment section as well, and it will take you to this video. And make sure you like that video as well. What's going on, people? JDBTv here, back with another video. I want to talk about Safaree Samuels, the ex of Nicki Minaj, getting engaged to Mena. If you don't know who she is, she's been on Love and Hip Hop New York, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She was in a relationship with Bow Wow. I believe she even got engaged to Bow Wow. So this is her second engagement. Okay, now looking at this video on Instagram, I noticed how the whole thing was set up. It was as if they were already going to a wedding. She was dressed in white. He was dressed like, basically as if he was going to be a best man at a wedding. But nonetheless, they got candles on the floor and they got a guy singing on the keyboard. Let me just tell you ladies this. If you walk into a room, everybody's standing around holding cameras, you see candles and the guy standing at the end of the row of candles, and there's a guy playing music behind him, 9 times out of 10 there's going to be an engagement or a straight to the point marriage. And that's what it seemed like. Also, they had flipped over another video. They had fireworks. It was just it's a lot of romanticism in this. He must be a Pisces. But I'm looking at this whole thing and it's all cool. Listen, if this is something you choose to do with a woman that you've been with for a long time, y'all care about each other, you're ready to jump that broom, you're willing to take that risk, you feel like you're ready to be together forever, get engaged, to be married, it's all good. But when I look at the two people involved in this, the fact that Safaree recently was in a situation where he was allegedly smashing the wife of a dude he was cool with, allegedly. They were on the same reality show because, beyond being, Nicki Minaj's ex-boyfriend, he also writes music. He does music himself. He's been on a couple different reality shows. He's been on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. He's been on, I believe, Love and Hip Hop New York. He's been somewhere everywhere, right? So, also you look at Mena, this chick was engaged to Bow Wow. Like, what is it with the women Bow Wow be with that these dudes get with and want to wife up? They want to have children with those women. Bow Wow must be a very big, well, he's not a big guy, but he must be a very good chooser of women, because his women always end up with another guy very quickly. Okay, and they're always industry dudes, man. These dudes are going right behind Bow Wow. I'm trying to figure that out. What is it about Bow Wow and the women that he be with that all these other dudes want to get with? But that's beside the point. Now, also, you have to take this element to it as well. This chick was in a relationship with a female. Now, the female she was in a relationship with ended up getting with Joe Budden, having a kid by Joe Budden, and getting engaged to Joe Budden. I mean, there's just a lot of layers here. And that encompasses what goes on nowadays. You got women that will flip from women to men, men to women. They will get in relationships with all these different dudes. You got dudes pulling out rings, trying to wife them. It's absolutely crazy. Looking at this situation, man, this relationship to me came quick, and it's almost like reality TV. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they get a reality show together. Okay, now if they already have one in the works, or they're already in the process of doing one, y'all let me know. But to go all this elaborate just to basically put yourself in a position like this, because engagements really don't mean anything. Now, I will say this though, Safaree, I hope you didn't give her too expensive of a ring, because just like Crawford learned from dealing with Evelyn Lhhatl, it's not always easy to get that engagement ring back. Because if it's an expensive engagement ring, if they think it looks good on their finger, they're going to try to keep it for as long as possible. Okay? So if you're going to break up with her, you need to make sure you can get that engagement ring back, or that you didn't put too much money into it, because I've seen how this Mena chick is, man. The chick is very volatile. Okay? It doesn't take much to set her off. And what's interesting is that she wants to tell people that the reason why she left Bow Wow and ended that engagement was because of his mental health. She even said he tried to take his own life. First off, why would you make that stuff public? And secondly, maybe his mental health was messed up because he was dealing with you. He was trying to appease you. This woman came right out of a lesbian relationship and got with Bow Wow. It don't get no more mental than that. And now all of a sudden you break up with him, you know, you're talking about his height and what type of person he is, how he's damaged, even though you look into her background and how she acts now, she seems damaged herself. Now, people can change, but when you got Safaree and you got Mena, you put them together, this is a recipe for attention seeking at its finest. But I have to give it to Safaree. He went out of his way. I think any woman who would have walked into that room, you know, he would have instantly made fall in love. I mean, because women love romantic shit. They just don't like nice guys, okay? They like romantic stuff, but they don't really feel the whole nice guy thing, okay? That is where we have to look at that situation, all right? Now, according to TMZ, Safaree surprised his girlfriend Mena with an early Christmas present because he dropped down on one knee and proposed with a beautiful engagement ring, which I hope if he breaks up with her, he can get that back, because women get them engagement rings and they feel like they are entitled to keep them. We're told the proposal went down Christmas Eve at Erica's house in Atlanta, where friends and family surrounded the happy couple. The Love and Hip Hop star started dating earlier this year, and they're already taking the next step. All right. A rep for Safaree, Katie McNair, tells TMZ 2019 is the year of new beginnings, and it's safe to say our guy Safaree stepped up and put a ring on it. The thing is, like, with all the divorces and the statistics of how marriage works, do you really want to put yourself in this situation? Now, I will say this though. Erica does what she does. She makes her own money, right? So I believe that because this guy probably feels comfortable getting engaged to her or pursuing marriage with her because she has her own. She's not, you know, leaning on him financially. So that's why I believe if you are a guy who insists on getting married, you better marry a woman that doesn't need you financially, okay? Who has good credit, okay? Okay. Who's not materialistic. Do that. We're told Safaree dropped $175,000 on the engagement ring, which features 14 carats in platinum and was personally designed by Safaree and Trax NYC. That's a $175,000 investment in something that could something that could be a big failure, you know. Our sources say Safaree surprised his girl with 20,000 rose petals surrounded by 200 candles before popping the question. Safaree pulled out all the stops because 112 was in the house singing Cupid and Crazy Over You in front of a full live band in her living room. After Erica said yes, the fireworks show started outside of the house. Now, I'm an optimist, but again, this could be for a storyline for Love and Hip Hop. It could be. You know, they probably had film crews and they filming to the side where nobody could see them, you know, because that is elaborate. It's almost about show. You know, engagements nowadays are about the show. It's about, let me go viral with this engagement, but they either end up breaking up before they get married, or they get married and that marriage doesn't last very long because it's no longer fun. You know, it's not, the surprises aren't there. You're no longer intrigued. The fun is over. You know, you did the big engagement, you had the baby showers. She gets pregnant before you get married. You prep for the wedding. She gets to walk around and showcase her engagement ring. She gets to brag on social media. And also, when the marriage comes and you've picked out this big nice venue and you done spent all this money for catering and making sure you have a wedding planner, unless you're gonna do it yourself. Then you got the family and the friends there, and they're all celebrating you. The attention is on you. That is what I think women love the most about marriage, is that everybody is focused on them. This engagement was about having the focus on him and her, making them the stars of this documentation, so to speak. And that's what engagements are. I think engagements are the new marriage, because engagement seems to mean more than the marriage does, you know? And because of that, that's why either the relationship is over before the wedding, i.e. Carl Crawford and Evelyn Lhhatl, or you have a situation where these people go along and they get married, and then the relationship is over after a couple months, or 6 months to a year, because there's no fun in it. All the pre-marriage juice is gone. Now you got to start over. The tension is not on you anymore. So what are you gonna do in the meantime? That is the question I want to ask a lot of women. Do you want to be married, or do you like what happens before you get married? The engagement, the planning of the wedding, the rehearsals, the picking out venues, the picking out dresses, assigning bridesmaids, your bachelorette parties, to be able to stunt on other women who ain't getting married, especially if it's the holiday season. Is that what you love more, or do you actually want to get married? Because I think a lot more women nowadays are just fine with being engaged. They're just fine planning a wedding, and then once that wedding comes and goes, the honeymoon comes and goes, now you're back to reality that you're but you're stuck with somebody who you probably don't even love like that. But and now you're with them to death do you part, until you find somebody else, or until you just want to get out that situation.